Good morning. It's actually morning right now. Normally I video in the afternoon, evening, or like 3 o'clock in the morning because I'll stay up all night. All right. You like my comb over hair? All right. We're going to do the world spread. It's not the world spread. It is. It's the Rosy Cross world spread. Now, I'm going to put this on screen share so you guys can see everything. All right. I'm going to talk a little bit. We're going to brush, and then we're going to make the brush bigger. Look at that. All right. So this red dot here is your initial yolk. So that's your first, wherever you did your tower and your yolk last night, this is where it is in mine. You need to get a map online and draw your stuff out. That means you have to print it out on a piece of paper, try to do it on recycled paper. If you need to print it out, you need to like print it out and then draw on it. And you need to get the full world. So like okay. So like the full world, because we're gonna do a world spread. Like we're missing the Arctic and Antarctica, and that's okay because we know it's like up here. Right. But for now, we have our current section. Now this is where I had my Hufflepuff egg. Now I put my Hufflepuff placenta somewhere else. I had it like going through Argentina before, but now I'm gonna go put my placenta where my nieces and my second cousins and stuff are in like California and Southern California. And then we're gonna have it. So I'm gonna explain a few things about the different access points. So you should have done the Hufflepuff the Rosy Cross before. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so that's actually the better way. And then we have little posts here, little posts here. Oh my God, this is making it so messy, but you guys need to have this download. Boom, 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 boom. And so like that mimics this here. We're gonna do another yolk because where we actually had our yolk, like we need to actually make it a yolk. It's a small yolk. If you want to make it a bigger yolk, because the yolk can fall to the side of the egg, you know. If you want to make it like a bigger yolk, that works. Okay. So, but this was about this, like even that is a little bit generous for the size of the yolk, like just this red dot. I'm like, my yolk does not cover all of London, let me tell you, much less the entire. We're gonna do like a Russian doll folding system. So we're gonna make a yolk about the size of that red dot. And then we're gonna make a yolk the size of this. And that will be part of this world spread. And then on the next video, we're gonna do then we're gonna do all these towers. And then we're gonna do, on the next video, we're gonna do this placenta. All right, so, and the placenta, that's like, if my egg didn't hit Oh, it shouldn't be like that. It should be like this. So like this will be one Seraphim Soul Star. So these, remember, so we did it where it's like, this wasn't on the Hufflepuff version. Oh my God, I can't stand that. I know some of you are like, I can't stand that your lines are drawn out like that. It's really hard. Let me go get my Wacom tablet. Hold on 1 minute. So I'm going to share a couple stories with you. Somebody's like, you got skinny again. Like, I don't really get fat. So like, you just haven't seen me. When I was going through all the knife rape was probably the fattest I got. Because I didn't even want to go walk outside. And it was miserable because like anytime I would just walk outside, I'd get stabbed 500 times. So, all right. So there were a couple things. Let me tell you something. I woke up this morning being with people like telling me I'm a racist. Like this never ends. Let me tell you this. They're waking me up, telling me I'm a racist and that they won't do their A&R marks unless we add racism to the A&R protocols. And I go, no fucking way. Those are knife rapists, one, that have not even passed HODE, much less done a snake brain cookout through Hufflepuff in their brain. Okay, so racism ends at Hufflepuff, number one, because you cook out your snake brain. The reason why we do our anti-knife raper marks is because of the Shakti and the split-second decisions and like the Slytherin sex crimes. Okay, so it's nothing about race. It's about sex crimes and like, it's like I can't describe to you guys the insanity that most people are under, that they equivocate racism to sex crimes and genital mutilation. Like they're not even remotely in the same ballgame. The sex crimes are created with minute issues in the energetic field that need to be brushed out with cobra acid to prevent psychic attack, knives and blades from being introduced into the body. Okay, so like A&R marks are specifically for all Slytherin crimes. Now, even by Slytherin, because most people have to pass HODE to even get into NETSOC, they'd have to have bypassed separatism. Okay, so separatism is like, I am no longer separate from my fellow man. So racism should be ending at HODE. So you guys are like, when I'm waking up to hear A&R marks should be including racism, I'm going like this and you guys are confessed. Go do your fucking anti-knife raper marks. I'm getting stabbed every day. Because of the etheric energy, and you guys want to stab people in the vagina. So that was my morning. And you know what happened when I said no? They stabbed me in the vagina. Because they're knife rapists. And that's the whole point of an anti-knife raper mark. We don't do those on even pedophilia planets. So it definitely doesn't include racism. God. So again, by T for it, when you learn to become somebody's actual friend, and through Hufflepuff, racism definitely fucking ends there. Mind blown. Those are reptiles and zombies, and definitely knife rapists. The next thing I was woken up to was Aaron Sorkin pissed, telling me, you definitely created your Kabbalah class in one day. It lacks all depth and creativity, and you're definitely a fucking Slytherin. I was murdered and stabbed, knife raped, stabbed, and sacrificed in the astral plane so severely I could barely handle it for 9 months. And that's what I'm waking up to. And I was left to starve to death on a beach by him. And I am lacking all depth and creativity. It's mind blowing. I am a poor, homeless person. There is no humanity in any thought that he has to present to me. Now, if somebody wants to replace me as Archangel Kamael, the head of GEBURAH, they will have to present all 300 of the same dragons with their paperwork that I am presenting. They will also have to produce an original class, an original Kabbalah class with material that could be derivative of mine, but has to be in their own words and understanding, completely channeled and downloaded by Lucifer and Dinostar. Because that is the job of Archangel Kamael. And wait, they have to deal with all the Clippeth stuff, and they have to deal with everybody's shit all day long for infinity. And they have to find a way to protect Archangel Haniel times a million and do Archangel Haniel's dragons too. Because that's the job of Archangel Kamael. So when you decide you want to add racism to the A&R paperwork, you need to have your A&R marks first, all of my dragons replicated. Okay, so you're not allowed to override the protocols for your own selfish issues ever for infinity, unless you're gonna alpha me times a million. It's embarrassing. And then you're gonna have to add Baba G is gonna be your babysitter, and you're gonna hear him telling everybody how much he hates everybody of all race. And then you're gonna realize we're gonna be creating a new race of people called the blue people, and racism will never go away because those will be the genetically pure people on the planet. Fuckers. Those will be the Adam Cadman species, and racism will continue for infinity. And they'll be of all different colors on the outside and blue people on the inside at first. So you guys need to go fuck yourselves really hard. Muggles are muggles because they do things like knife rape in the astral plane, and they refuse to grow up and actually do the spiritual development work and the purification on their genetic sequencing. It prevents them from tapping into the higher divine light. Okay, so there's our first square. So then we have, so it's like the octahedrons here. So this is the Seraphim Soul Star component. I'm going to take this away in a minute. So then I hear Aaron Sorkin saying, I'm going to take away your microphone. You do not belong to a mass audience. And you're right, I belong to Gryffindors, and there are like 10 of them. And everyone else is going to get confessed. The Hufflepuffs aren't going to necessarily get confessed if they start doing their work to get above the wheel. Okay, so this is our Seraphim Soul Star. If it's doing weird things like popping off the page right now, that's what's happening. Okay, so it's a double octahedron. So this is really the Seraphim Soul Star. Boom, boom, boom. So somebody's like, are you going to get confessed this lifetime? You sound like you're going to get confessed because you're all in this anti-knife raper work. Okay, so those people are fucking morons. That person's getting confessed because they prefer to do that than write the anti-knife rape protocol pages and get above the wheel of karma. So the time and energy that you spend doing really stupid shit is what gets you confessed in life. So it's like telling somebody that's into health and diet and exercise that they're stupid because they're into diet and health and exercise when that's the standard and the status quo. What I am doing is presenting the status quo for GEBURAH, and that's anti-sex crimes. And again, people are still trying to add anti-racism, and racism will never go away because it includes the Adam Cadman species. So it's redundantly paradoxical and bullshit. Okay, so this is where our egg is gonna be. Now, everybody who has problems with that is, again, it's the same conversation. You guys have more of an issue with that than getting rid of your goddamn knife rape. The A&R marks are for knife rape. Then we add pedo, because these are Slytherin sex crimes. Then we do evil. Now, racism should be under the issue of evil to begin with. So there we go, but we need to definitely take care of the knife rape first. The next level is the demon in hell. Now, everybody who's presenting to me that racism needs to get taken care of instead of knife rape first is bizarro and is doing the demon in hell energy. So they're psychos. The next level is demon in hell 2. So now they're gonna knife rape me because I say no. So that's demon in hell 2. Now I respond to the knife rape by confessing them, and then they knife rape me more or they shoot me in the head. That's demon in hell 3. So those are the 3 different demon and hell layers we have to get rid of in reality. And that's why the A&R marks are focused on that. Next is sex crimes. Sex crimes. And then finally, psychic attack. What they're doing to me right now is psychic attack. There is no productivity in what they're doing to me right now other than being a fucking energy vampire and wasting their time and energy. Instead of producing Patronus charms, they're harassing me about anti-racism issues. Instead of fixing their anti-knife raper stuff, they're harassing me. So that's psychic attack, and that also needs to be cleared out for Gryffindor. And that's it. That's our A&R mark. Not racism. Okay, so here we go. This, and this. So the A&R marks are gonna look like that, and they'll have 2 dots or 3 dots. So the first line is for knife rape. The second line is for pedo. The next line is for evil. And then we have so the third dot is for all the demon and hell stuff. So 1 dot's for psychic attack. Another dot is for sex crimes. And then the other dot is for the demon and hell work. So that's why we have A&R marks to begin with. Like, it's for undermining people through the root chakra. It's the red light district. It's not, okay, so it's sex crimes. That is the job of a griffin. Anything other is a distraction and a waste of time. If you can't get your A&R marks done first, then everything else is just a distraction so you can knife rape. And so you can psychically attack. Now, the thing is when you get rid of all this stuff, you should have no racism to begin with. You should have no racism to begin with after you do your snake brain cookout in Hufflepuff, here in Hufflepuff. And then once we get to Gryffindor here, you do no sex crimes. You're a non-cruel individual. This is, I am non-cruel, so then I shouldn't be cruel to any specific race or gender. Okay, so it's a bunch of people telling me right now that have no A&R work that I need to add racism instead of focus on the A&R work, which is bizarro. So knife rape includes the female genital mutilation. The evil could include the male genital mutilation. Okay. It's also sex crime. Male genital mutilation is a sex crime. That's where it's categorized. So you stop circumcising men or against their will. Okay, so like they have to, if they want to be circumcised, they have to appeal for it when they want to, but you can't do anything on them against their will. All right, so Griffins are in, it's red light district. It transcends race and gender. It is non-cruel, non-sex crimes that Slytherins are very proud of and indulgent. So you cook out your snake brain here in Hufflepuff, and then you purify all the shit out of you for infinity in GEBURAH. So you do the snake brain here and the snake tail here, so that by accident you don't Shakti knife rape into the astral planes. Okay. Oh, you're not satisfied with that? Then you guys can go fuck yourselves 100 ways over. All right. Next is then Hesed. So nobody gets like Kelly's gonna do the same thing. We have the A&R marks here in Hesed, and then we have the A&R marks here in the prefix for Hufflepuff. So nobody gets across the abyss without an A&R mark. Now, nobody gets across the abyss to become a higher authority than me, to replace me. They'd have to pass an Archangel Metatron Nexa, an Archangel Ariel Nexa, an Archangel Zafkiel Nexa, and an Archangel Ratziel Nexa to take my post as Archangel Kamael. Because mine's the important one. Mine's the super dragon queen. And that's why Lucifer chooses me, because I'm not a psychopath like all of you motherfuckers. And I can do mathematical proofs in my brain psychically that are 5 years ahead of how any thoughts manifest in your own reality. You guys are stupid. So, sorry. All right. So Hode people, racism should have ended here when we learn not to be separate from our fellow man. So you can't really pass Hode to even get into NetSoc without learning that lesson. Also, there's this, and this is the deeper truth. In Yesod, we stop being vain and we stop looking at people for who they are on their skin color or their gender or the outside. So that lesson really should have been learned in Yesod and definitely in Hode. So by GEBURAH, it's purification out of all the Slytherin stuff. And Slytherins usually exist here. The Slytherin exists here, but they're also here, and they're also here. Oh, wait. Oh, they're also all this shit in the Clip It. So a Slytherin, but not in a clean way like a Griffin. So, like I can't tell you guys enough how ignorant motherfuckers are. It's like saying I need to clean my windows, but before I need to clean my floor. All right, let's do a pretend thing where I actually show you the difference between a Griffin and a Slytherin in the underworld on the tree. Oh no, that's where my history stops. Okay, so window, history. Oh, man. All right. I did too much stuff. Oh, it's on this layer. That's fine. Yay. All right. And then I hear people, we're going to confess you because we don't want you as our leader. We want someone nice. Okay, so the head of Gryffindor is never going to be fucking nice. Ever. They are going to be boundary setting cunts times a million. Sorry. And because they have to be on top of Lucifer and all the hell dragons and everything else. They will not be oppressive. Slytherins are oppressive. What they will be is rule setting. B. So here's Kater. All right. So a healthy Griffin versus a Slytherin on the Tree of Life. Let me teach you what that is, what that looks like. So you guys are saying to me, so here's the other problem. You guys are spending your time, energy trying to confess me, and nobody has an A&R mark, much less access to confess anybody from Kater. Nobody's even nobody's even cooked out their stuff in Huffle. They're in Slytherin here going, I'm gonna confess you. Or they're in Hode going, I'm gonna confess you. Or they're in Yesod because they haven't passed delusions going, I'm gonna confess you. It's bizarro. And they have not cooked out their snake brain here in Tiferet. Okay. Yeah, I'll do a quick color in right now. All right, so let's pretend we have this and then this and this. Boom, 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 boom. So this is like the Teresa-itis. Don't teach the tree of the roots. Like, oh my God, that's evil. Oh my God. And I'm getting threats from Teresa in the mystery school. We're gonna sue you. You're gonna sue a homeless woman for teaching Kabbalah. Oh my God, you guys are stupid motherfuckers. So those thoughts, those real master and a real magician in 5D doesn't waste their time with bullshit thoughts like that. They go, how do I climb the tree? So Misty is here right now and we're getting her across the abyss. So go Misty Copeland. She'll be the first Black woman on the planet to get across in a legitimate way with roots all the way down from the bottom of the cliff. She is an unmarked griffin with her spiritual body getting across right now. When she gets her marks, it will be actually official. Freeman McFadden is the head of Hufflepuff, and he is a beautiful, beautiful Black man on the inside and the outside. He is in charge. He basically is in charge of the Black Lives Matter movement. Period. Because he's the head of Hufflepuff. And he's the only one Jesus actually pointed to and picked. And if you met Freeman McFadden, you would understand why. He actually loves and he doesn't hurt people in the astral plane. He is a model of health and maturity, groundedness, humility up the wazoo. And he runs very high gnome energy, which is what was needed to get him into as the head of Hufflepuff. Here's your sewed. I'm not going to color in. I'm not going to color in the lower worlds. It's very gross to be told I'm a racist all day long by everybody. I'm getting really annoyed by it. Go get your aunt. You guys are knife rapers. You guys need to go get your A&R marks first before you say or think anything psycho. I just got knife raped for 9 months because of your guys' shit. That's the point. All right, so here are a clippeth. Here's our roots tree, our clippeth tree. All right, so a Slytherin looks like this. We're gonna do it in bright green. So they exist here and here and here and in here and then here, and then that's about it. And they're like assholes, okay? So then they like, so they have very little roots or grounding, but they have enough. So then they're like, yeah, I'm God. Okay, and then they hurt people, and they attack these people, and they attack anyone in the clippeth, and it's psycho, okay? Now a Hufflepuff is like, I definitely got through Hode. I did all this. And then they're like, we're feeding from here, we're feeding from here, and we're feeding from Dot. So here are the rays of sunlight coming from the higher worlds. So like already a Hufflepuff is like, yeah, I'm already like a million times stronger than everyone. All right. So they're like, yeah, here, here, here. So if you like knew Freeman McFadden, like you would see that this is his energy field. All right. So like we're ascending Howard University, and this is the grid we're setting, and I'm helping them build it to take it from whatever little bits of Slytherin and Hode and like really anchor the high level T-Frets. Now a good Auror and Griffin can help anchor T-Fret, not the other way around. So I like, okay, so do you see how much more grounded a Hufflepuffer is versus a Slytherin? Now, here's the Griffin. I'm definitely have one root into the Auror because I'm not an idiot. Okay, so I definitely have this. I have one root here. Hopefully I can definitely make a prefix because I have 5 million layers of boundaries. Like, okay, so boom. I have one root into Hesed because I'm not a moron. All right, so this is a Griffin. This is a Seraphim Griffin. Oh, crap. And then, oh, there's 5 million other trees beneath that. And then I need to make sure. So this is this is why a Seraphim is the preferred route. And why a Seraphim and a Hufflepuffer are just not the same. And I need to explain this to you in like a really, like a real fashion. Oh, so like here is our mode of existence. So everybody exists in this egg. So we're definitely going outside the egg also and making set all the boundaries. Oh, wait, 5 layers outside of reality. Okay, so like, I'm gonna make sure that I get like, because we're boundary dragons. And this is why I'm a cunt, is because I'm this. All right. And then we have that and that. And then hopefully maybe I can get through the path of the Phoenix. Okay. So Hesed is different. So this is a Griffin. And then we're gonna do the Raven. Let's do it with a lighter blue. All right, so like if I go all the way down here, so like Kelly goes to there, but then she starts going up into this, like, and into weird outer space stuff. So this is a Raven. So I definitely want this. I definitely want this times 1,000,000. So they're going like, we're gonna build 1,000,000 bridges across the abyss on the path of Free Willy. Yay. And then we definitely want another link there. Boom. And then wait, here's the High Priestess path right here. We definitely want to master this in the Department of Mysteries. We want to get as much of that as possible. And then we're definitely going to recruit from Hode 500 million times over and try to see if we can make a bunch of Ravenclaws from Hode Masters. So like, this is the job, Ravenclaw. Do you see how it's different than a Griffin? Like it's more focused. It's like, it's more linear, or it's like, cause they're cerebral. So they're in the higher like brain world. Okay. So like, so definitely racism ends at Ravenclaw. So Griffins, like, again, racism should absolutely be ending at Hode, and then times 1,000,000 at Hufflepuff. And that's why the Tinkerbells, it's like all the different races of fairy. You have the Asian fairies, the black fairies, the Iranian fairies. Okay, so you have the Muslims, the Indian fairies. So like, and they're all pixies because they're all living from the heart chakra, and that's the reason. So it's a multicultural world up in Hufflepuff to begin with. All right. Boom, boom. So that's Ravenclaw. They're crazy though, because they don't have, so this is why knife rape has to be cleared out by the Griffins, and you have to be marked, even if you're a Ravenclaw, because the Ravenclaws their purpose is not to do anti-knife rape. It's to do anti-stupid. Like, so Kelly's Ravenclaw, like, so then they have 50 mental bodies. Oh wait, and then we need to do it here, like 50 mental bodies up here. So that's a Hoshmalim. Now, when I ask for Archangel Kelly to come here, she'll come because she masters obedience, and she's Archangel Zadkiel. So then Archangel Zadkiel has to like help me as Archangel Kamael. So if I'm in the Clippeth Id and I'm like, Archangel Kelly, please come help. Now they definitely need an access point here at the bottom of the Clippeth, and that's where their initiation takes place and where they actually get cut or marked with their A&R marks, because they get cleared here, but they might not actively behave like a Griffin, even if they're in the bottom of the Clippeth. They might not be at war at 500 million angles in the bottom of the Clippeth. They might just be there to get their initiation and then start downloading like what are the problems here in the bottom of the clipit that they need to write magics and grids for. Okay. Somebody says I have a very patronizing tone and they love it. That's correct. So like you guys are gonna get used to it. In my life, I have to counter out 8 billion stupid people and set firm boundaries on my position. Now, the reason why we focus on knife rape is because of the tears in the energetic field left at the bottom of the clipit. And because a griffin or someone above the wheel pulls all their magic from this area. So anybody above the wheel of karma is pulling their magic from here. That needs to be purified. It needs to be cobra acided to death for infinity. A Hufflepuff does not need that in life. They don't need the cobra acid because they're not pulling from these deeper levels from the clipit. But anybody up here does. Now, you will never get to be Kali or Kamael without, or even in the house of Kamael, without pulling from these territories and having 500 Cobra Acid Yoda Balls books to purify the magic. Okay? Now, a Slytherin doesn't give a shit about cleaning themselves out at all. Otherwise, they'd be in Hufflepuff. And that's that. Now, I need you to understand this. So like, this was our egg. So we're doing a Russian doll teaching. So this was our egg from Hufflepuff on our world, our Rosy Cross egg. So it was, our yolk was here, and then our egg was here, and it was only built off of a 4-pillar system. So that was like the equivalent of this. Okay, it was Hufflepuff. And then the egg only went down that far into the halfway, like at the bottom of hell, okay? And it only takes up half the planet. Okay, E. So then somebody's saying, you're gonna be confessed because we don't understand any of that. So like, you have a serious mental problem in life. It's like somebody who got drunk or drugged up and then decided to show up at circus class to do backflips and back walkovers while they're drunk and drugged up. And they probably didn't take this whole class. And then they showed up like a voyeur, thinking that they're some kind of a confessor. Okay, so here is our global scale. So here is our miniature yolk. I'm gonna take this off and we're gonna redraw it. So here's our miniature yolk, and we're gonna do a bigger yolk, and then we're gonna do a bigger yolk, and then we have our, oh God. Boom, 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 boom. And then boom, 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 boom. And then this is our actual yolk. This is our real yolk. So this is like the dot seed of a yolk, and then so it's a Russian doll yolk. because we're then going to create the world egg and do a world shell around the entire globe. And so what was Hufflepuff is actually just our yolk. Take that. So do you understand the Russian doll component where everything is fitting inside of itself? So then our placenta is like this. Yeah, so then it's attached to the yolk. And then make sure that everything is fed to like our friends or our nieces, even if it's outside of our yolk. That's Elijah's house in Austin. That's one of the anchors. Because he's Osiris. And then here is us in London. And this is a new tower. Okay. Now, if you want to make your points be like at your twin's home or at somebody else's home, that like a friend or a loved one or a kid, you can do that. It's highly preferred because we're doing like family grids that will transcend and go upward. So also the Khaleesi temples up in Oakland with where Joe McDaniel and Mel live. And those are the two Night Furies that are very magical, and we're ascending into Hufflepuff, legit. Mel will go into Ravenclaw, and Joe McDaniel will go into Seraphim down the line. And they are awesome, awesome, awesome dudes. Okay, so Mel is one of the nicest people on the planet, and he is a boxer, and he will be entering the Hashmolim. So it's not about physical strength, it's about the way he wants to run his energy. So this is definitely where the Khaleesi temple is. And then my babies. So then I have other temples here, all up the California coast. We have the stuff in Los Angeles from my apartment. We have got Simi Valley temples. We've got the stuff in Carlsbad. We've got the Tara in Escondido. So we're good. Okay. And then we've got Mel's up here in San Francisco. And then we've got Montrose up past Simi Valley. So it's like a legitimate system. Okay. That is the World Tower explained. Collie Wren out. The next video, we're actually going to be doing the grids. Stop share and